Second guest is IAIN GLEN. Ian came in to talk about Delicious, Series 3.
It's been Sky One's most successful when it's sort of that first series, and we're now in the third series. And, it's funny, it's quite wise, and it's got Dawn French, which is always a huge bonus, and Amelia Fox, and they're great female characters, and, it's funny and clever.
Where do you film?
Cornwall.
He's an actor. He's a very busy actor, let me tell you, but I've just discovered that he's finished work for Christmas. So that's good news. So it can be Christmas, put your feet up, and then next year, as I say, is another year. Coming back on to Sky, Delicious, Series 3 we are now, and I'm delighted to say that IAIN GLEN is with us. It's nice to see you.
Thank you very much.
Ladies like you, don't they?
Do they? Oh.
They do so. You mention it in the office, they go, who have you got coming in? You go, IAIN GLEN, they go,
Oh, that's good to hear.
I mean, that's good to hear.
Good
So, wait a minute, in Delicious, you're dead.
I am. That is a disadvantage. I'm actually very, very dead. But what it does is release this sort of narration. So I'm a kind of voice from beyond the grave, if you like. And
do we see you?
We do. Sort of. I'm summoned back on camera by the sort of my ex-wives primarily, but other people within the drama who either at crisis points or moments of great joy, or I kind of reappear, and it's quite a sort of movable conceit. It's not sort of fixed in any one thing, but so I surprise them and the viewers by reappearing.
How fab.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's good. I think it's a wonderful drama. It's like it's been Sky One's most successful when it's sort of that first series, and we're now in the third series, and it's funny, it's quite wise, and it's got Dawn French, which is always a huge bonus, and Amelia Fox, and they're great female characters, and it's funny and clever.
Where do you
film? Cornwall, very beautiful Cornwall.
Actually go to Cornwall.
We do.
Lovely. They use that a lot for filming now, don't they?
Yeah, it's become more and more popular. I suppose it's just that gorgeous coastline, two coastlines and fantastic interior. So yeah, beautiful.
So how much have you filmed? Are you...
So it's done. This is the third season, and it's going to show between Christmas and New Year on the 28th, I think. Yeah, and And
then do you go? Can you? How? I don't know how I can ask you now. I'm not sure whether are we taking you into Series 4?
I think that's a slight unknown. I think the way this series ends, it suggests there might be a fourth, but I think there is.
Would you like to do a fourth?
Yeah, it's a lovely gig for me. I'm dead, sort of thing. No, so they concentrate.
Still got to act.
Yes, I still have to act, but I'd love to do a fourth. It's really been a very happy job run by Philippa Giles, producer, a bandit for Sky, and we all love it. Dawn is a sweetheart. She's the loveliest lady.
Does she live down that neck of the
She
woods?
does. I think that's partly why we filmed there, to be honest, yeah.
I thought so. I remember her telling me years and years ago that she'd moved down there.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, oh, that's quite... And then you mentioned it, and I thought, no, wait a minute, this ties in. Yeah.
No, she's one of the most altruistic people I know, very, very kind-hearted, and that sort of bleeds through the whole production. And Amelia, who we worked with before, she's great. So, it's got very strong actors.
So you've got loads of things on at the moment. I mean, I know we said that this is your rest period, but you've got Mrs. Wilson.
Mrs. Wilson just came out. Yeah, that did quite well. I think
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
I mean, you are one busy boy.
Yeah, I try to be, family, mortgage, all that sort of
Stop pleading that one. Please. Not going to tell me. Although I appreciate the fact that in your business, 89% are unemployed at any one time.
So they say, I think that's right. But I think if you're lucky to be in that narrow percentage that works, it tends to roll on. So, but it can be a cruel profession. But you just have to keep going. Game of Thrones has been very good for that, because I think it's sort of, it's been so globally popular that, if you can keep landing things like that as an actor, each decade, then you, hopefully it continues to promote work. So.
Has it actually turned out the way you thought when you went to RADA?
Mm-hmm.
I know. And, do they give you any indication of exactly how easy or how difficult the business is going to be, and once you get something, God, hang on to it?
Yeah, they don't really. I mean, when I was at RADA, they were a bit snooty about the whole sort of camera film at all. There was none of that. You were prepared for the stage, darling, and that's what you were going to do. So it was a bit of a surprise when I started kind of walking in front of a camera. No, I think you're very aware of how tricky it is, just because everyone keeps telling you all the time about it. But I've been really lucky, and I've been yeah, I always think if the next decade is as good as the last, I'll be a happy bunny, and I've just spread myself thin, I suppose, and try to keep going to stage and film and TV, and if you can spread yourself wide. In our country particularly, if you can avoid typecasting, people are desperate to pigeonhole you as you're posh or you're not, or you're.
Where do they pigeonhole you?
I think I'm slightly elusive. I think they can't quite, and so that's maybe I don't know, but you just try and keep doing as wide a variety of work as possible, and leave jobs with people wanting to work with you again. I think that's the trick.
That's the key, isn't it? I didn't realise that till some time ago. Somebody said, it's very difficult to be diva-ish in this business nowadays.
Yeah.
They just don't bother with you.
There's too many good actors,
I think you're right, there's too many people. And also, the schools are still turning out more actors. And I keep thinking, don't turn out any more.
No,
the work's a bit thin at the moment.
That's right. But it's, acting is fun. I love it. And it is. And I love it as much as when I first started. It's a fun thing. It's a silly thing that we do, pretending to be different people. And, it's like, it's a child's mentality, and you have to kind of retain that. And, I just think there is no excuse for, I don't know, bad behaviour. I just think,
I say exactly the same about radio. I say, it's so easy to do. It's not difficult. It's like having a conversation with somebody in a pub, except you're doing it without alcohol most of the time. and you do it, and people pay you for it, and you think, this is great fun. In your job, if you do theatre, then you feel the love and you feel the applause. If you're doing film, they just want we've got to move because time's money. We've got to do this. If you learnt your lines, yes, you've learnt your lines. Film it, done, and that's it.
I think that's right. I think one shouldn't try and overcomplicate it. And different jobs require different things. I mean, theatre is a great sort of grounder, and it's hard work. And it's, family sacrifice a little bit. You can't put your kids to bed, and it's full on, but it really...
Do you really get something back out of it?
You do.
What does it give you?
It's just that live, present, sensation of reacting and having an audience react to you. But theatre always boasts good writing. Theatre doesn't tend to get done unless the writing's good, and so you can almost guarantee that you'll be dealing with, a role that is going to challenge you, and that can be the frustration of film or TV. Is sometimes it's a bit bitty, or it's you don't feel it stretches you enough as an actor. I've been very lucky, and I but you know what I mean. I think theatre is it's a good thing for all actors to do.
I think it's great that we have so much theatre.
Yeah,
I know. Think it's fantastic. Americans want to come over here and play the West End.
Yeah,
and you think
that's right.
There's something about it. I mean, admittedly, they're these old Victorian theatres which are clinging on for grim death. And occasionally they need to spend a bit of money holding them up.
I saw everyone's talking about Jamie.
Had you not seen it before?
I hadn't. Oh, it's wonderful.
Did it blow your socks off?
Yeah, I went with my 11-year-old girl, and it was wonderful.
Oh,
it was
fantastic.
just great. Just a new musical like that coming out of Sheffield and transferring here, and just brilliant. So well executed, and I think they do it fantastic. The lead guy is really brilliant. I mean, stunning. What a performance.
I think when you is it funny? You go to see theatre, and when you see something really good, you come away and you go, God, that was really good.
Yeah,
but yet the standard that we've got here, I think, is incredibly high.
It is, and we've got a reputation. I think people do still think that, we do it in the West End better than anywhere else in the world. We've got such a huge variety, and you can see straight plays, you can see new plays, you can see musicals. There's so much choice there. I think it's something you can be really proud of.
You don't get very much rehearsal time in the West End. You don't get as much as you do in the National.
That's true, but I once did a musical, Martingale. People in Schoenberg.
My favourite musical.
Is it?
Well, because it's got my favourite song, Bethlehem.
Oh yes, that's right. That's right.
But they did it a few times, Martingale.
They did. Tell me about it. I
thought so. And the reason, but let me just tell you, because they'd done the theatre up, it was all beautiful, but nobody quite got where we were. Look, I'm Martingale.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
That was my song. Look,
I loved it. I saw it so many times.
I don't belong. I'm Martingale, please.
It had such good songs in it.
It did. It was great. I think the score was fantastic.
Yeah.
But the reason I remind you said we don't have much rehearsal. The rehearsal went on forever. We were rehearsing for sort of 10 months.
Especially when it's all changed.
When it was a new show, and then we had to. That's right. We finally opened. I was absolutely petrified. My first singing role. I thought, my God, I got away with it. I just about got away with it. And then Cameron gathered everyone else and darlings come to the stalls because I've got an announcement to make, we're going to do it all again. And we're going to reopen the show.
Because the critics said they didn't understand it.
They didn't understand it. And I think he played them quite well, and they came back and they were more approving.
Yes, they were.
Yeah.
It was a clever trick, because strange enough, they did the same with Miss Saigon.
Right.
So Claire Moore, who was in it, they were changing her lyrics on the opening night as she's standing behind the curtain, ready to come down on the travelator. And they go, learn that.
Funny. Well, we were recording the album while it sort of just after it opened as well, and they were chucking new lyrics at us as well, because they hadn't quite made up their mind. But hey, it's on
I thought it was great. I think it's a lovely big theatre.
Yeah.
It was a super
it's
space to
a
work
challenge
on.
as an actor, I have to say. I was, I never got bored doing that show, even though I did it for a year, because every time you open your mouth and you're about to sing, certainly from
Could you hear it? Do they have foldback?
Oh, you do hear it. Those little hidden mics they have in the forehead, and so you feel everything. Whatever you do is going to resonate around the theatre, good or bad. So
do you have to trust sound man on that?
You do, and I used to get they would tape it, and I would have a listen back, and again it was a bit like sort of watching yourself, and on the monitor or something. I could try and fine tune it by having a listen to it, but no, it was demanding.
Well, I thought it was great, and it's in my car repertoire.
Yeah,
now I'm listening to it, because I just think it's good. I just like Cameron's spending of orchestration and getting the right size orchestra.
Yeah, I know. I think musically it was as good as they've written. I thought it was really, really fantastic.
Yes.
And it's in my dad's car radio as well. Yeah,
sounds good.
Yeah.
All right, very, very quick break. More from IAIN GLEN after this. Special guest in conversation, actor, singer. I've forgotten to include singing. Is that your only singing role, Ian?
I've done it on film. I played a country singer, and I've done different things on.
I
play the guitar and piano and different stuff. So
do you actually play?
I do. Yeah. Mainly to my kids who don't want to listen, but
no,
but I do. I love kind of a guitar particularly. It's a very good partner on location, because you spend a lot of time waiting for the DP to paint his pictures. So and I find reading somehow gets in that part of the brain that you kind of need to act somehow. So learning songs or playing songs in the caravan is a good way to while away the time.
Are you good?
It's not for me to say. I've been playing since I was, 12 or
You're
something.
Good.
So
You're good. You've been playing since 12. Did you have lessons?
I never did. I taught myself, very sort of painfully long drawn out process. Yeah, learning Beatles songs, and actually taught myself the piano from the guitar. So I would strum G and then find the notes on the piano, and so I play the piano in a very ham-fisted way, but the guitar I'm better at, and I have I don't think I ever had lessons, but it's amazing now online what you can get, the help you can get, and the online tutorials you can get.
Oh God, the internet's changed everything.
It really has. So it's not about needing to read music. You don't. I would advise anyone to learn that skill. It's great, but you don't need to play an instrument, and so you can, the way they break it down. So I developed a good ear. I can hear something and work out how to play it quite quickly. So, yeah.
Oh, right. Because I had a friend like that, and so people would phone up and they say, can he play Ski Sunday on his organ? And he'd go, yeah. And you think, that is a gift. I wouldn't be able to do that. I've got the wrong fingers for pianos. I think you've got to have long... I always think you've got to have longer fingers, because I was crashing notes.
Can you sing?
No. But actually, that isn't to say I wouldn't give it a bash. I was a chorister when I was little, and so I can hold a tune. I can do the desk camp versions of all the carols.
Yes.
I'm very good at that. But whether I could actually hold it, because I don't know how much they can change you on stage. I know if you're doing a rock concert, they can auto-tune you.
I think people sort of exaggerate. People think, they're going to affect it and fine-tune it and do all that. But actually, it's very exposing, particularly live on stage. I mean, I'm sure. So if you've got a camera involved, and you can sort of record more than one version and make it look like it's all being... But if you're on stage, then I think there's only a certain amount that you can do in the moment to make it sound better.
See, the nice thing about you is that you're very adaptable, but you're obviously quite good at picking good pieces. Is it the writing?
Yes, it is. It really is. That's always the kind of guiding thing for me, is and that's what you come into contact first with as an actor. Things will be sent to you, and it's always the writing you engage with. Then the secondary is director, and who's producing and what the whole. But basically a piece of writing, and I as I said before, I tried to spread myself thin, and finding good writing is because you're lost without the words as an actor. People think that, like even this sort of thing, or being yourself is not something that
doesn't come naturally.
No, it really doesn't. I know it sounds weird, but
I ask actors, I say, is this the real you, or is this you playing the part of somebody being interviewed?
Exactly. Well, there's an element of that because what actors enjoy is writers giving you very beautiful things to say that you then shape, and you hope you can deliver them in a way that resonates sometimes beyond what a writer might have thought they could. But that's you're a kind of conduit, and that's what you do, and you pass yourself through that, and I love that, and I love hiding. It's not hiding, but being exposed, but hidden through someone else's lines, and it's a bit.
Do you feel that you're hiding? Is it like a gauze? You can deliver the lines, but it's not really you at all. You're hiding behind this
sort of thing. It's always why I've been intriguing. Why musicians are often quite drawn to acting, as actors are drawn to being musicians. But musicians are often quite poor actors, and it's often, I think, because their personalities are too big, they're too strong. What they've developed to be able to go on stage, and it is a very different quality, I think. Actors come in all shapes and sizes, but it is about subduing yourself in some ways and letting qualities that relate to this piece of writing, this character you're playing, reveal. But it's all through the process of a learnt line that you then. So anyway, going sort of on a red carpet or doing something where you have to sort of be yourself I'm as lost in my own. You get used to it over the years, but as I think you can sort of fake it. But do you know what I mean? It's a funny thing.
Exactly what you mean. I went to the ballet at Sadler's Wells the other day.
Oh yeah,
Swan Lake.
Brilliant. How wonderful. Was it wonderful?
Well, I saw it 5 years ago.
Right.
And it was even better this time. It was even better. But I spent so much time, because we were on the Royal Circle, watching the orchestra. So I spent a lot of time watching the orchestra thinking, why can't I play an instrument? Why can't I do this? Because it seemed effortless. They just played it. And then after a while, you think, I'm listening to a recording.
Yes.
But the stage is fantastic, and the ending of it is just so clever. He's very gifted in that department.
I know.
And then, of course, you had the Downton Abbey experience.
Yes.
What was that like?
That was great. I mean, there was that was season 2. I was a kind of guest lead in season 2, and so I think they were all overwhelmed by just how successful it had been, and they were sort of, so we all sat around in a beautiful country house in the middle of Wiltshire somewhere.
This was Highclere, wasn't it?
Just it's like lots of lovies, just reading the paper and having a chat. Hugh Bonneville was a great friend from way back, and
yes, I love him.
He's lovely. He's lovely. Yeah,
I did him first of all for that. Then we did him for Paddington.
Right.
And we were laughing about Paddington. When you make a film with sort of something that's CGI'd, I said, "What were you working with?" He said, "Well, most of the time it was a hat on a broomstick."
Well, there you go. But that's the dragon in Game of Thrones. That's a pink ball or something.
Same thing.
Look frightened, look pleased, look scared, run away.
Works every time,
works
doesn't
every
it?
time,
Do they operate like a clique there? Is there a sort of a hierarchy?
There are, and what they love is when they're finally given the stage, because they're usually kept in, at arm's length throughout the entire shoot, and then a day comes, or a week comes, or now kind of a month comes when the set is theirs. And all these sort of geeky, forgive me for saying it, gents and women come out and an organised thing, and you just have to do what you're told again. And it's always like, you're like sitting on a mechanical buck looking at something, and then you have to look slightly, 1 inch to the left and 1 inch to the right, and then do some expression and then do it slowly. And it's very bizarre. Very bizarre.
It is bizarre, isn't it?
Yeah.
But the house is lovely.
The house is lovely.
I love that. I always remind myself, I keep thinking, people actually live here. This is a working house.
Yes. Sorry, I was talking about being on a dragon for Game of Thrones.
Oh, God.
Are you back to
the dragon on Game of Thrones,
Sorry,
honestly. Not name dropping on my programme, honestly. We've seen Game of Thrones. So let me just go back to Delicious. So
yes.
We're not sure we know where we've left it, but we're not sure if we leave it open for...
Yeah, I think that's right. It's like all good returning series. I think, you want to satiate an audience with those storylines that are unfolding and things complete, but there are question marks that are left at the end of the. But I'm sworn to silence in terms of plot, which is hard when you try and sell the season. I mean, you're not allowed to say that, you're not allowed to say this, but there are some great surprises there, and great love interest, wonderful food, quite a lot of sex. Delicious is set inside.
I don't think we're allowed to talk about sex.
Right.
Not in front of some of these young people.
But yes, it's set in a country hotel where people gather for great occasions, mainly weddings, and birthdays, the odd funeral, and drama naturally unfolds in those settings when big families come together, and so that's the setting. And I think I felt this season particularly was the strongest of the 4 episodes in some way. I think it's really stepped onto a new level. So yeah, I'd recommend it.
Have you watched it back?
We don't get to, not at this stage.
Interesting.
No.
So how do you know?
Well, just as I say, from the script, reading from the script and the doing of it, and also there's a buzz around it while you're doing it, and people felt very good about this season. I think just the new storylines, what happens during these 4 episodes is just it's very intriguing, and it's one of the hard things you have if you keep coming back to the same group of people. Can you naturally generate good storylines that are plausible, that are interesting, that are all the things you want them to be? Because when you start, you never know you're going to be writing another 4 hours and then another 4 hours, another 4 hours. So it's a problem, a new problem that we have in TV now, because the great holy grail is, particularly in the States, but also here, these 10-part returning series. And when you start out, so how do you set up a scenario in which you can, storylines keep unfolding from themselves naturally, organically? So anyway, I think it works really well on these new 4 delicious.
Lovely. Well, we'll keep our fingers crossed that, maybe, who knows, only guessing, might be something next year. Yeah. Have you got other stuff for next year as well?
I have. I've just finished a film in Switzerland and Germany called Haven, which I think will be really good. It's a post-apocalyptic drama. It was wonderful young German director called Tim Fellbaum.
You're doing it in English?
It's all shot in English, yeah.
I do ask that because I've seen things before where one character will speak in English, but everybody else seems to speak in German or whatever it happens to be. And I think, how does that work?
Yes, I know. But no, it's all shot in English. It's lucky, again, it's a bonus of being a British actor, is that, countries like Germany, Italy, Switzerland, they can shoot sometimes in English to open up those markets, and they don't have an issue with dubbing back into their own language for certain,
Wow.
So it's but and other things, but I'm not committed to them, so I can't quite say.
Can't talk about it. It's unlucky. It's unlucky. And for Christmas, just with family?
Christmas, about family, all the family gathering round, and going to be in London. But we spread it between my and my wife's family, and so we take the hit on Christmas Day, and then
you swap.
Then we swap round. Yeah, kind of spread the load a bit. But
Oh, lovely. Listen, I wish you continued success.
Thank you very much.
It's a delight. Have a very, very happy New Year.
It's been lovely chatting. Thank you.